Prabhupada, but I am just giving a brief understanding before we actually go into the reading. So then it becomes very clear. So Karmarpanam is also done in two ways. One, as I just now mentioned, offering one's occupational duties, fruits of one's occupation. That is one way of Karmarpanam. And second way of Karmarpanam is uh, performing nine ways of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. So offering that for Krishna. So these are the two ways in Karmarpanam. And Kainkaryam is serving in the mood of a personal attendant. So the word Kainkarya is coming from King Karoti iti Kainkarya. Kinkara. Kinkara means uh, what shall I do? What shall I do? One who is always in this mood of wanting to do some service. So that is called as Kinkar. So this word is famous in Sanskrit, and I think in Hindi also it is there. I'm not sure whether in South Indian language it's there or not. So the point is that one is always in the mode of serving. Mm. So uh, so these are the two ways of dasyam. So now let us read with this understanding how Prabhupada is explaining us. Yes, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Chapter 11 Aspects of Transcendental Service Servitorship. In the opinion of karmis, fruitive workers, offering the results of karma is called servitorship. But according to Vaishnava Acharya like Rupa Goswami, servitorship means constant engagement in some kind of service to the Lord. In the Sukand Purana, it is said that those who are attached to the ritualistic activities, the four orders of social life, and the four orders of spiritual life are considered devotees. But when devotees are actually engaged in offering service to the Lord directly, these must be Bhagvatsa or pure devotees. Those who are engaged in fruitive activities or prescribed duties according to the four orders of social and spiritual life are not actually pure devotees. But
Just a minute. Sorry to interrupt you. So if you see this statement beginning with in Skanda Purana. So what Prabhupada is saying that those who are attached to ritualistic activities, the four or that is Varanashram, are considered devotees. And that means they are offering the fruits of their actions or fruits of their prescribed duties through Varanashram to the Lord.
hmm,
And then second is when devotees are actually engaged in offering service to the Lord directly. Hmm? So these are the two different aspects of karmarpana. Yes, please go ahead.
but still, because they are offering the results to the Lord, they are accepted as devotees. When one has no such desire but act spontaneously out of love of God, such a person must be accepted as a pure devotee. The conditioned souls who have come into contact with the material world are all more or less desirous of lording it over material nature. The system of Varna Shrama and the prescribed duties under this system are so designed that the conditioned soul may enjoy in the material world according to his desire for sense gratification and the same time gradually become elevated to spiritual understanding. Under these prescribed duties of Varna and Ashrama, there are many activities which belong to devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Those devotees who are householders accept Vedic ritualistic performances as well as prescribed duties of devotional service because both are meant for satisfying Krishna. When householder devotees perform some Vedic ritualistic duties, they do so to satisfy Krishna. As we have previously discussed, any activity aiming at satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead is considered devotional service. Srila
Yeah,
Rupa,
just a minute. Huh? So, uh, here we can clearly see that Prabhupada is talking about the system of Varnashram and the prescribed duties under it. Hmm. What are they? So they are offering the opportunity for the conditioned soul who are having so many material desire to fulfill their material desire at the same time uh, doing it in a way by which they can also satisfy the Supreme Lord. Hmm. So now one may question how these two things can go together, because Prabhupada has many times said also that sense gratification and Krishna consciousness go ill together. Hmm. But here the Varnashram system is fulfilling one's, this is not exactly sense gratification, but uh, fulfilling the demands of senses in a way that which, according to the scriptural rules and regulations, and then also offering the results to the Supreme Lord. Hmm. So that is Varnashram system. So that way one gets the opportunity also to fulfill one's material desire, and at the same time he gets the benefit of offering the fruits of those activities to the Supreme Lord. Hmm. So this is the initial stage. As Prabhupada has mentioned, we cannot call them as pure devotees, but still they are accepted as devotees because they are offering the results to Krishna. Hmm. Yes, please. Is the paragraph completed? I did
yeah,
not.
that era was completed, Prabhu.
Yeah, so somebody else can read the next paragraph.
Srila Rupa Goswami describes one who is fit for becoming engaged in devotional service. He says that persons who are neophytes and who have developed a little love of Godhead are not interested in the activities of sense gratification in proportion to their devotion. But if there is still some attraction for sense gratifying activities, then the results of such activities should be offered to Krishna. This is also called engagement in the service of the Lord, with the Lord as the master and the worker as a servant.
So you see that actually when little bit love of Godhead is developed, then one is not interested in sense gratification. Hmm. But at the same time, there may be some attraction remaining for gratifying the senses. But if results are offered to Krishna, so then that engagement is also called service to Krishna. Hmm. So, just like we see in initial days when we come to devotional service, there are certain things we immediately give it up, like drinking tea, coffee, or onion garlic, or non-veg, or sometimes alcoholic drinks, etc. All these things we immediately give it up. But then there are certain things which are little bit difficult to give it up, and which are not actually so much against the principles of devotion, but still they are a stumbling block in advancement of devotional service. Hmm. So then such things when are dovetailed in the service of Krishna, then gradually one becomes purified. Hmm. So that is what is mentioned over here. Hmm. Yes, go ahead with the
In the
last.
Naradiya Purana, there is a statement of how this servitorship is transcendental. It is said there that a person who is constantly engaged in devotional service by his body, mind, and words, or even a person who is not practically engaged but is simply desiring to be so, is considered to be liberated.
Hmm. So this is a very, very famous verse again quoted by Srila Prabhupada many times. It says in this way, Iha yasya harer dasye karmana manasa gira nikhilashvapi avasthasu jivan mukta uchyate. So, Iha yasya harer dasye karmana manasa gira. Hmm. So, he who has desire to serve the Lord in this world, how? With his actions, mind, and words, is called liberated in all circumstances. Hmm. So then previous way we saw that somebody is having a little bit of Shraddha, and that's why he has not yet fully given up all the activities of sense gratification. Then what he does is he offers the results of his activities. Hmm. So in very gross way, we can say that uh, let's say we like to eat gulab jamun. Hmm. So now eating gulab jamun is not against the principles of Krishna consciousness. Hmm. But then what we do is we prepare gulab jamun and then offer it to Krishna and then eat it. Hmm. So this is that way. Hmm. And then the second thing which is mentioned here is how it is that he will not say that this specific item, mm, anything uh, which is offered to Krishna with love and devotion is accepted as prasad. So there is no consideration of liking, that because I like this, that's why I will offer this. Mm. There is consideration of pleasing Krishna more than one's own liking. So these are the two differences, a small and subtle difference between the Karmarpanam part 1 and Karmarpanam part 2. Is it clear? Okay. So then the next one is Kainkaryam. So, regarding Kainkaryam, we saw that the one is always in a mood of serving the Lord. Hmm. So this verse from Naradiya Puran is explaining the aspect of Kainkaryam, wherein one is saying that servitorship is transcendental and in any way one is engaged in devotional service by his body, mind, and words. Hmm. And such a person is considered liberated. Yes.
Devotional service in friendship. Devotional service in friendship can be divided into two categories. The first is to act as the confidential servant of the Lord, and other is to act as a well-wisher of the Lord. The devotee who has a confidence in devotional service to the Lord systematically follows the rules and regulations, with the faith that he will achieve the platform of transcendental life. The second type of devotional friendship is to become a well-wisher of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord accepts a preacher as a most dear servant. Anyone who is preaching the confidential message of the Gita to the people in general is so dear to Krishna that no one can be equal to him in human society. Hare Krishna.
So these are the two ways. Again, friendship are two types, and one is Vishwaso and another is Mitra Vritti. Hmm. So Vishwaso Prabhupada translate as confidential servant, and Mitra Vritti he translated as acting as well-wisher for the Lord. Hmm. So generally we hear that Lord is our well-wisher, isn't it? But here the devotee is acting as well-wisher of the Lord. Hmm. So, and how it is that also Prabhupada gives example that how a devotee who is a preacher is very dear to the Lord. Hmm. Because as a preacher he uh, is broadcasting the message of the Lord on his behalf as his well-wisher. So from where this idea is coming is it is coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I have all these mangoes of devotional service to be given out, but I don't have enough people who can help me out to distribute. So please join me and help me to distribute. Hmm. So that is like helping the Lord in his mission. Hmm. So that way we are acting as well-wisher of the Lord. Hmm. So that's the second thing. Hmm. So the first one, now the example is given. Yes, somebody can read in Mahabharata.
In Mahabharata, Draupadi says, "My dear Govinda, your promise is that your devotee can never be vanquished. I believe in that statement, and therefore, in all kinds of tribulation, I simply remember your promise, and thus I live." This purport is that Draupadi and her five husbands, the Pandavas, were put into the severe tribulations by their cousin brother Duryodhana, as well as by others. The tribulations were so severe that even Bhishma Deva, who was both a lifelong brahmachari and a great warrior, would sometimes shed tears thinking of them. He was always surprised that although the Pandavas were so righteous and Draupadi was practically the goddess of fortune, and therefore Krishna was their friend, still they had to undergo such severe tribulations. Though their tribulations were not ordinary, Draupadi was not discouraged. She knew that because Krishna was their friend, ultimately they would be saved.
Hmm. So this is also very nice verse. प्रतिज्ञा तव गोविंद न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति इति संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य प्राणान् संधारयाम्यहम्. Pratidnya tava govinda. Oh my Govinda, it is your promise. What? Name bhakta pranashyati. That my devotee will never perish. So where is this promise made by Lord? In Bhagavad Gita only, Lord says to Arjuna that declare to the world that my devotee will never perish. Name bhakta pranashyati. And then Draupadi is saying, iti samsmritya samsmritya. By remembering this again and again, I am able to keep my life airs within the body. I am able to maintain my life. And we can literally see how many difficulties Pandavas had to undergo from their childhood. And in all the circumstances, Lord was always there to help them. And even in their exile, so Duryodhana sent Durvasa Muni. You all know that story, right? So Durvasa Muni came there, and Pandavas, they said that, we want to have, so please come and have prasad, Yudhishthir Maharaj said. But then Draupadi had this Akshay Patra. You all know this story? Yeah. So Draupadi had the Akshay Patra, and from which whatever amount of food she wanted, she could produce. Only until she herself had on that day. So then there was a trouble, and then we all know that how Krishna comes to their rescue. So it is not so easy, to undergo all these situations. Some small thing happens in our life, and then we are immediately disturbed. And first thing that affects is our chanting. That is our situation. But here, what Draupadi is saying that I have full faith on your statement that your devotee will never perish. And that's why with this faith I'm continuing. So that is Vishwas. So this is coming from having such kind of friendship with the Lord that one has full faith in the Lord's protection and Lord's uh, 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 promises which he keeps. Yeah. It's 7 o'clock. Then another quotation is also given from the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please read.
A similar statement is there in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd chapter, verse 53, where Havi, the son of King Rishabha, addresses Maharaja Nimi. My dear king, a person who never deviates even for a moment from engagement in service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person, that is, engagement which is sought even by great demigods like Indra, with firm conviction that there is nothing more worshipable or desirable than this, is called the first class devotee.
So it's completed, no? Yeah. So then here we see that this another quotation is also given in a similar way with firm conviction. There is nothing more worshipable or desirable. So that is what is mentioned here. So what is, one may ask that what is the qualification for such kind of, bhakti or faith? So the faith is only the qualification. So when the faith is developed to such an degree that he has full faith on the Supreme Lord, Vishwas, that yes, Lord is there as my protector. Then one reaches to this stage. So that is explained in the next paragraph. Yes, please read.
Sri Rupa Goswami says that a neophyte devotee who has simply developed a slight love of Godhead is certainly a prospective candidate for devotional service. When he becomes firmly fixed in such devotional service, that assured status becomes a confidential part of his devotional service.
So when he is firmly fixed, then he comes onto this level of being confidential, member of the Supreme Lord, Vishwasa. Okay. So now the second type of friendship is explained in the Agastya Samhita. Please read.
Sometimes it is found that a pure devotee lies down in the temple of the Lord in order to serve him as a confidential friend. Such friendly behavior of a devotee may be accepted as raganuga or spontaneous. Although, according to regulative principles, no one can lie down in the temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this spontaneous love of Godhead may be grouped under devotional service and friendship.
So here, very important point to be understood, that right now what we are studying is the Uttama Bhakti defined by Srila Rupa Goswami, which was defined in the verse Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. So that we elaborately saw the definition of Uttama Bhakti. And under Uttama Bhakti, there were three categories. What were there?
Raganuga Bhakti?
No.
Uttama Bhakti.
The three categories under Uttama Bhakti.
Sadhya, Snigdha, and Sattva.
No.
Sadhana, Bhava, Prema.
Bhava and Prema.
Yes, correct. Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. These are the three categories of Uttama Bhakti. And what are the two divisions of Sadhana Bhakti?
Vaidehi Bhakti and Raganuga.
Vaidhi, not
Vaidhi.
Vaidehi. Vaidhi, yeah. Vaidhi, Vaidhi. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. These are the two divisions of Sadhana Bhakti. So right now, when we have started the discussion from, I believe, chapter 6, so the items of devotional service, these are primarily talking about Vaidhi Raganuga Bhakti. And here, especially this item right now, which we are discussing, as Prabhupada is also mentioning, that it may be accepted as Raganuga. So this item, right now what we are discussing about the Sakhyam part, the second part of Sakhyam, wherein one is very intimately acting with the Lord. So it is a very high level of devotional service. It is above Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Why? Because we saw the rules to be followed while serving the Lord in chapter 8. Yeah, in chapter 8 we saw. So there it was mentioned that one should not spread his legs in front of the Lord, if you remember. Or one should not even sit holding his knees, showing the feet to the Lord. And here what is mentioned, that sometimes the devotee may lie down in the temple in front of the Lord. So if you cannot show the feet, if you cannot sit like this, then is lying down allowed in front of the Lord? It's not allowed. But if somebody is in that mood, he is lying down, means he is on a higher level than Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And that's why this comes under Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. That the more understanding of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti will come later in the later chapters. But just in order to, because it is mentioned by Rupa Goswami, it is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada. So then we are making the point clear. Okay? Yes. Then next is surrendering everything to the Lord.
Surrendering everything to the Lord. Regarding complete self-surrender, there is a nice description in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 29 chapter verse 34, where the Lord says, a person who has completely surrendered unto me and has completely given up all other activity is protected by me personally, both in this life and in the next. In other words, I wish to help him become more and more advanced in spiritual life. Such a person is to be understood as having already achieved sa- sati, having equal opulence with the Supreme. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that as soon as a person surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna takes charge of him and gives him a guarantee of protection from all sinful reactions. He also instructs from within so that the devotee may very quickly make advancement towards spiritual perfection. These are
Yeah. So which are these two verses from Bhagavad Gita? As soon as one surrenders, which is this word? Very famous. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. And then he also instructs from within so that devotee may very quickly make advancement, which is this verse from the 10th chapter, Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita.
अनन्या चिंतय
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां
भजतां
प्रीतिपूर्वकं
प्रीतिपूर्वकं
ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं.
येन
Dadami buddhiyogam tam. So Lord gives the intelligence. So basically the point is about Atma Nivedan. So this item is termed as Atma Nivedan. Again, this is also very high level of uh, exhibition of devotional service. It's not very ordinary.
this self-surrender is called Nivedana. According to different authorities, self is differently defined. Self is sometimes considered to refer to the spirit, self or soul, and self is sometimes considered to refer to the mind or to the body. Full self-surrender therefore means not only surrendering one's self as spirit soul, but also surrendering one's mind and body to the service of the Lord. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has sung a nice song in this connection. While offering himself as a fully surrendered soul, he said, my mind, my household affairs, my body, whatever is in my possession, my dear Lord, I offer to you for your service. Now you can do with them as you like. You are the supreme possessors of everything. So if you like, you can kill me, or if you like, you can give me protection. All authority belongs to you. I have nothing to claim as my own.
Yes. So again, the point here, the Atma Nivedan we are discussing, the item is Atma Nivedan. So Atma, what is Atma? That is mentioned here. Atma refers to soul, and sometimes it also refers to, as Prabhupada is saying, mind or body. Why? Because the body is what you say, resting place for the soul, for the time being. So, and then therefore Prabhupada is mentioning about how Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing this song. Anybody knows which is this song with this meaning?
मोहन मंदिरे
No, no. Manasa deha geha jo kichu mor arpilu tua pade nanda kishore. So in your uh, what do you say, in your time which you are having on your own, so you can just go through this song, very beautiful song of Atma Nivedan, self surrender.
Prabhuji, could you repeat it once more? Manasa Deho Mohe?
मानस देह गेह जो किछु मोर. So this is the title. The song starts with these words only, so you can easily find it out. So then, based on if we consider Atma as body, then we see the quotation from Yamunacharya, which is mentioned ahead. Please read.
Uh, Sri Yamunacharya in this prayer to the Lord has expressed a similar idea in the following words. My dear Lord, I may be living within some body as a human being or as a demigod, but whatever mode of life, I do not mind because these bodies are simply by products of the three modes of material nature, and I who am in possession of these bodies am surrendering myself unto you.
You see,
The,
so here we are talking the second aspect of Atma as the body. So here Ramanujacharya is exactly resonating those words that I may be living in any body, either human, demigod, or whichever. I don't care because body is simply the product of three modes of material nature. But what is I? I actually am surrendering myself to you. I, the real self, the soul, who is in possession of these bodies, I am surrendering unto you. So I may be in any body, but actually I am surrendering to you. So that is how this is explained over here. So, and then, yes, I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. This quotation was for Atma as soul. Please note it down. This quotation was for Atma as soul, and the next quotation is Atma as body. Please read.
in the Hari Bhakti Viveka, there is a statement regarding how one can offer his body in self surrender. There, the devotee says, my dear Lord, as a souled animal has no need to think about his maintenance and sustenance. So, because I have given up my body and soul unto you, I am no longer concerned with my maintenance and sustenance. In other words, one should not bother about his personal or family maintenance or sustenance if one is actually surrendered in body and soul. He should always remember that his only concern is to be engaged in the service of the Lord.
Hmm. So this is about that devotee is not worried about his maintenance of the body. Because the example given is when the animal is sold to other person, so the animal is not worried about his maintenance. The owner worries about the maintenance. So similarly, when we give up our body to Krishna or surrender ourselves with the body to Krishna, so then we are not worried about our maintenance. So if you see all these things based on the descriptions, it's not on a very ordinary platform. These are all on a higher level. So that's why we already mentioned that. So that thing now, Rupa Goswami mentions ahead that these items like Sakhyam or Atmanivedan, especially these two, these are very rare because they are very difficult to practice. Mm, but still, these are also considered as part of sadhana. Yes, please read ahead, last paragraph.
Srila Rupa Goswami says that devotional service in friendship and devotional service in self surrender are two difficult processes. Therefore, such relationships with the Lord can very rarely be seen. Only for the advanced devotee are these two processes easily executed. The purport is that it is very rare to see surrender which is mixed with sincere aesthetic devotion. One must give himself completely to the will of the Lord.
Okay. Then the next item is 50th item, offering a favorite article, Nija Priyopaharanam. So So please read.
Offering a favorite article in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th chapter, verse 41, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava, my dear friend, if someone offers me the best thing in his possession, or anything which is very pleasing to him, he will be eternally benefited.
So we see many times we are told that we should offer the best thing to Krishna. So best thing is in various ways we can understand the best things. Best things is, let's say we want to offer some fruit. So which is the best fruit in season currently? That can be offered. Or what we have with us, amongst that, what is the best? That can be offered. And so here it is mentioned that best thing in position or anything which is pleasing. Pleasing to whom? One who is offering. Like sometimes, so there is this story, no? You might have heard that one person was carrying murmura, and then a gust of wind comes, and his murmura puffed rice flies in the air, and then he says, Krishna Arpanamastu. Why? Because now it is no longer his. So then, anyways, it has gone. So better it goes to Krishna. So not like that. Offering the best thing in possession means you know you are going to utilize it. So, but still you are going to offer it to Krishna. So that is offering a favorite article, like that. So there once Gaurang Prabhu was sharing in one of his class that one of the boy, he came in the temple with new pair of gloves, boxing gloves. And he said, Prabhuji, I want to offer it to Krishna. So he said, "Arey, what is this? Why you want to offer boxing gloves to Krishna?" Says, so that that will become prasad, and whenever I will hit somebody, he will also get the prasad. So, anyways, jokes apart, the point is that one should offer the whatever he likes the most, that has to be offered to Krishna. Okay, then the next item is tadarthe akhila cheshtitam, performing all endeavors for Krishna. Please read.
Performing all endeavors for Krishna. In the Narad Pancharatra, there is a statement of how one can act in all spheres of life for the satisfaction of the Lord. It is stated there that a person who is actually in devotional service must be engaged in all kind of activities, those prescribed in the revealed scripture and also those which are accepted for livelihood. In other words, not only should a devotee engage himself in the prescribed duties of devotional service, which are mentioned in the revealed scriptures, but he should also perform the duties of his practical life in Krishna consciousness. For example, a devotee who has a great establishment, the factory, may offer the fruits of such a material possession for the service of the Lord.
So always many materialistic people they blame that devotees are not productive. So actually, if you see this particular item, so performing all endeavors for Krishna, all endeavors for Krishna means even in those items which or those activities which we are doing as a part of our daily work. So even those should be performed with the mood of satisfying Krishna. Now, if you see, if you want to satisfy Krishna, then will you do some, wishy-washy things? You will certainly not do. You will do everything diligently. So when you want to please Krishna, you will do everything diligently. That means even you will do your daily work also very diligently. So Prabhupada said that my devotees are gentlemen. A gentleman means what? Then he has to act in a very proper way, even in his material dealings with others. And only then people will get attracted to the process of Krishna consciousness. So performing all endeavors for Krishna means we have to be very, very diligent in doing our daily duties as well, in a way as an offering to Krishna. Hmm. Yes, then the next item is Sharanapatti. Please read.
Hare
Somebody.
Krishna. Being a surrendered soul. In the Haribhakti Vilasa, there is a following statement about self-surrender. My dear Lord, a person who has surrendered himself unto you, who is in firm conviction that he is yours, and who actually acts in that way by his body, mind, and words, can actually relish transcendental bliss. In the Nrsimha Purana, Lord Nrsimhadeva says, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter from me becomes my ward, and I protect him always from all sorts of calamities.
Hmm. So, previously we saw Atma Nivedan. Hmm. And here we are seeing Sharanapatti. Hmm. So, what is the difference? The difference is the item Atma Nivedan, it was in the sense of renunciation. Hmm. That one gives up everything for the sake of Krishna. Hmm. And this particular item is about taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. No? So that is a difference mentioned. So refuge in Lord's protection, as given in this second quotation, where Lord Nrsimhadev is saying that anyone who prays and takes shelter, so then he becomes my ward. So even we see in the Ramayana also, Lord Ram said that even Ravana right now comes and takes my shelter, I will forgive him and offer him all shelter. So that is glory of the Supreme Lord, that he is ready to forgive even such a big offender as Ravana, hmm, if he is taking shelter. So this Sharanapatti, that is the item mentioned over here. Yes. Then the next item, 53rd, Tadiyanam Sevanam. Please read.
In the Skanda Purana, there is a statement praising the Tulsi tree as follows: let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Tulsi tree, which can be immediately vanquish volume of sinful activities. Simply by seeing or touching this tree, one can become relieved from all the distress and diseases. Simply by offering the obeisances to and pouring water on the Tulsi tree, one can become freed from fear of being sent to the court of Yamaraja, the king of death who punishes the sinful. If someone saw a Tulsi tree somewhere, certainly he becomes devoted to the Lord Krishna. And when the Tulsi leaves are offered in devotion to the lotus feet of Krishna, there is a full development of love of Godhead. In India, all Hindus, even those not belonging to the Vaishnava group, take special care of Tulsi tree. Even in the great cities where it is very difficult to keep a Tulsi tree, people are to be found very careful keeping this plant. They water it and offer obeisances to it because the worship of the Tulsi tree is very important in devotional service. In the Skanda Purana, there is another statement about Tulsi as follows: Tulsi is auspicious in all respect. Simply by seeing, simply by touching, simply by remembering, simply by praying to it, simply by bowing before, and simply by hearing about, or simply by sowing this tree, there is always auspiciousness. Anyone who come in touch with Tulsi tree in above mentioned ways lives eternally in the Vaikuntha world. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. So see the glory of Tulsi Maharani. So here the item is Tadiyanam Sevanam. Tadiyanam means those which are associated with the Supreme Lord. So Lord Shiva and uh, his consort, they are having a nice discussion. So there, uh, Lord Shiva says, Aradhana nam hi sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam param. Hmm. That amongst all kinds of worship, Aradhana nam hi sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam param. Vishnu Aradhana is the highest. Tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. But amongst even more than the worship of Vishnu is the worship of Tadiya, those people or those things which are in connection with the Lord. If one is worshipping that, that is considered higher than even worship of the Supreme Lord. So that is what is here mentioned. If you see the two quotations which are given from Skanda Puran, they are describing it that what all way Tulsi Maharana is so beneficial. Just simply by seeing, simply by touching, simply by remembering. Right now we are remembering Tulsi Maharani by hearing her glories. So even simply by hearing or simply by praying to, simply by bowing before. So there is one person in the place where I stay. So he is not a regular visitor to the temple. But whenever he comes, if he finds temple is closed, then he offers obeisances to Tulsi and he goes. He doesn't much talks with devotees or doesn't much interact with anyone, doesn't come for the weekly program. But he will come to the temple for darshan, and if he finds that day darshan is closed, he comes at that time, then he offers obeisance to Tulsi Maharani and goes away. So just imagine, even that activity if he's doing, he's getting so much of devotional credits simply by offering obeisances and simply by hearing about or simply by sowing the history is always auspiciousness. So we are eternally grateful to Srila Prabhupada that he has almost most of these items of devotional service, he has fit them into our daily practice in the lifestyle that he has given to us. It's amazing. If you see very, very consciously, you'll find out most of the items are daily schedule. So, and those of you who are not able to be in the temple or visit temple regularly due to some difficulties and whatever, so at least we can make sure that we worship Tulsi Maharani because she is very dear to the Supreme Lord, and by worshipping her, there is a very quick advancement in devotional service. Also, we can make sure that we can chant in front of Tulsi Maharani and take her association when we are chanting. So that is also very, very beneficial. So that is how this chapter is concluded here with item number 53 as Tadiyanam Sevanam. Any questions so far?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, this last line, doing anything above mentioned ways lives eternally in the Vaikuntha world. How should we take that literally, or what it means, how it implies?
Yes, it is literal only. If we are so much absorbed in serving Tulsi Maharani, you are as good as in Vaikuntha only. It doesn't matter whether your physical presence is here or somewhere else. Because Vaikuntha is certainly a place, but at the same time, Vaikuntha is also the consciousness. Just like we say Vrindavan. Vrindavan is certainly a place, no doubt, but it is also consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Moraman Vrindavan. His mind was only Vrindavan. Means what? That it is aspect of consciousness. So one lives eternally in Vaikuntha world means his consciousness is in Vaikuntha. So it doesn't matter where his body is. If it may happen that our body is in physical Vrindavan and our consciousness is hooked up somewhere in our home place. So then what is the use of that? But the consciousness is in Vrindavan. Whether you stay in Hyderabad or Saswad or Pune or any part of India or hell or heaven, it doesn't matter. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll move ahead with chapter number 12. So then point number 54, item number 54, Shastrasya. Shastrasya, Shastram Let's hearing from the revealed scriptures. Please read.
Other aspects of transcendental service. Hearing the revealed scriptures. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, any book which gives enlightenment in the matter of advancing in devotional service is considered to be revealed scripture. Srila Madhvacharya has also defined revealed scriptures as referring to books such as Ramayana, Mahabharata, Purana, Upanishads, Vedanta, and any other literature written in pursuance of such revealed scriptures. In the Skanda
Yeah.
Purana, there is
So then now the quotation is given that to establish this point. Yes, Skanda Purana.
In the Skanda Purana, there is this statement: a person who is constantly engaged in reading literature, enunciating the cultivation of Vaishnava devotional service, is always glorious in human society, and certainly Lord Krishna becomes pleased with him. A person who very carefully keeps such literature at home and offers respectful obeisances to it becomes freed from all sinful reactions and ultimately becomes worshipable by demigods.
Go
It
ahead.
is also said to Narada Muni, my dear Narada, a person who writes Vaishnava literature and keeps such literature at home has Lord Narayana always residing in his house.
One more quotation from Bhagavatam. Go ahead.
In Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 13th chapter, verse 15, it is stated, Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. Any person who has become attached in some way or the other to the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam cannot have any taste for reading any other literature. In other words, a person who has relished the transcendental bliss of Srimad Bhagavatam cannot be satisfied with mundane writings.
So, revealed scripture is defined as any book which gives enlightenment in the matter of advancing devotional service. So that is a revealed scripture. And then we saw that these 2-3 quotations which explained that how even by worshipping or bowing down to such scriptures is also beneficial. What to talk about reading it, what to talk of reading it very carefully, what to talk of applying what you read carefully, and what to talk of gifting it to others. So this is a prelude for the upcoming Bhadrak Purnima campaign. So the last quotation was from Bhagavatam only. Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Shri Bhagavatam ishyate tad rasamrita truptasya nanyatra syat rati kvachit. The Bhagavatam is Saram of Vedanta. It is the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. And tad rasamrita truptasya. If one is satisfied with the if it is one is satisfied with the taste of reading this scripture, then na anyat atra syad ratihi kvachit. He will not have rati, that is attraction to any other thing in this world. So fall in love with Bhagavatam, and all your other things will go away.
Excuse me, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Can I
Mataji.
say something?
Please.
This happened really in my life.
Haribol.
I love reading different genres of books, but after going through Gita and the Bhagavatam, I'm unable to read other books. I started reading second time.
We aspire for this
Hare
end,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Everything Prabhupada's divine blessings.
Yeah. We also aspire for this end in our lives.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Yes, Prabhuji, you have some question? Parameshwar Guru.
Yeah, Prabhu, sorry. In continuation to my earlier question, Prabhu,
Yeah.
if we take a dip in holy dip, Triveni Sangam somewhere, sins done till in our lives or in the past lives will go away. How we should take that, Prabhu? What it means?
It means the same thing, that the sins go away. That is what it is. All the sins which you have committed till now go away.
I mean, is that process so simple, Prabhu? I mean,
It is so simple, but it depends on the faith of the practitioner. If he has that faith, then he gets purified. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So there is a beautiful story in this regard. Uh, the same thing Parvati Mata asked Lord Shiva. So you are in parampara. So she says, how is it like that? So then Lord says, okay, let's go and have some practicals. So uh, he buries himself in sand at the bank of Triveni Sangam, and uh, Parvati Mata, he tells Parvati Mata that you tell the people who are coming from bathing outside, tell them that please help my husband. He is got stuck here, and then whoever comes forward to help you, just warn them that only those who is completely purified, only he can relieve my husband. That is the problem here. So then after hearing this, you see what happens. So then she tells people that please come and help my husband, and they come forward. And they come forward, and then she gives this warning that but only if you are completely pure, then only you can take him out. Otherwise, you will also get stuck inside. So then everyone goes away. So the point is that they are coming there with this understanding only that all our sins will be gone in the Triveni Sangam, but they don't have faith on this statement. And that's why they cannot go and bring out Lord Shiva. So that is the point is being explained. So whatever things which we are reading here right now, if we are doing that with faith, then we yield the maximum benefit. To the degree is our faith, to that degree the result is received. So, ye yatha mam prapadyante, Krishna says. As one approaches me, that way I reciprocate. Is that okay, Prabhuji? You are muted, Prabhu. Please
yeah,
unmute.
yeah, sorry. We were told like till we get the real faith, fake it till you make it, kind of it. So even if you fake the faith, that is also will it give the results, Prabhu?
We cannot fake the faith. We can what do you say? We can perform the activities with some intelligence. Uh, if we are not having faith, then we perform the activities with intelligence. What is that? It is said in the scriptures, so let me do it in that way. So by doing that, then some way or the other, you certainly get some results of it. And then your faith gradually increases. But if you want to increase our faith in a very rapid way, then we should serve those who are having this kind of faith. Then that our faith also develops rapidly. Is it okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Sanjay Prabhu.
Can I just add to that, Prabhuji, if you don't mind?
Please, please.
Like what we say, I mean, it is very difficult for us to go to Prayagraj and have a dip. But we always, when we circumambulate the Tulsi, we sing Yani Kani Chapapani, Brahma Hatyati Kani Cha, Tani Tani Pranashyante, Pradakshine Pade Pade. So there also it is the same meaning which says that, if you circumambulate Tulsi, all our sins are, even sins from our previous Janma, is eradicated. That's the belief, and that's the result as well.
Correct. But again, same thing. It depends on the faith of the performer. And most importantly, we are not doing any of these activities to get rid of any kind of sin. We are doing all these activities because it is pleasing to the Lord. So that is very, very important point. If we understand this, then there is a paradigm shift in our consciousness and doing things. So whatever we are doing is only to please the Lord. If we do in this way, then all these things doesn't matter. Whether I'm getting purified or not purified, all these things. We are just simply doing it for pleasure of Krishna. And once Krishna is pleased, then what remains in life, to achieve? There's nothing else remaining. Okay. Yes, then the next item is 55. Atha Mathurayaha, residing in Mathura.
In the Padma Purana, there is a nice statement praising the service of the Vaishnavas or
It is
devotees.
Varaha Puran. It's there, Padma, in your book?
Yeah.
Varaha Purana.
Mataji, reside in
my book.
Madhura, Mataji.
She is
Not-
reading the next paragraph, Prabhuji.
Oh, residing in Mathura, you have to read.
Okay, yeah, sorry, Prabhuji. Where left?
Yeah, please read. Residing in Madhura.
Before paragraph, Mataji. Before
Page 115 itself, Mataji, in the same book.
Okay, 55, yeah. Residing in Mathura, sorry, Prabhuji, yeah. In the Varaha Purana, there is a statement praising the residential quarters of Mathura. Lord Varaha tells the men of the earth, any person who becomes attracted to places other than Mathura will certainly be captivated by the illusory energy. In the Brahmanda Purana, it is said that all the results of traveling on all the pilgrimages within the three walls can be achieved simply by touching the holy land of Mathura. In many Shastras, scriptures, it is said that simply by hearing, remembering, glorifying, desiring, seeing, or touching the land of Mathura, one can achieve all desires.
So 3 quotations are given here. 1 line for each one. First is of Varaha Puran, second is Brahmanda Puran, and third is in many scriptures. No? So again, same thing you see here, similar as that of Tulsi Maharani. Just by remembering, hearing, glorifying, desiring, seeing, or touching the land of Mathura, one can achieve all the desires. Yes. Then the
Why
next is
Mathura,
56.
Prabhuji? Why Mathura? Why not Vrindavan?
Mathura Mandal, it includes Vrindavan.
Oh, Mathura Mandal. Okay.
Yeah. So right now, when we see Mathura, we feel the Mathura railway station and the vicinity around it. But here, Mathura means the Mathura Mandal, which includes 84 kos
Everything.
of Braj Bhumi. Yeah. Yeah. So then item number 56, Vaishnavanam Sevanam, rendering service to devotees.
Rendering service to devotees. In the Padma Purana, there is a nice statement praising the service of the Vaishnavas or devotees. In that scripture, Lord Shiva tells Parvati, "My dear Parvati, there are different methods of worship, and out of all such methods, the worship of the Supreme Person is considered to be the highest. But even higher than the worship of the Lord is the worship of the Lord's devotees." A similar statement in third canto, 7th chapter.
So this is the same verse which I was mentioning. Haribol. Yeah, so this was a similar verse which I was saying some 2-3 minutes back regarding Tulasi worship. So here it is quoted, Rupa Goswami quoted it in this item. Yes. And then also in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please read.
A similar statement is in the third canto, 7th chapter, verse 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me become a sincere servant of the devotees, because by serving them, one can achieve unalloyed devotional service unto the lotus feet of the Lord. The service of the devotees diminishes all miserable material conditions and develops within one a deep devotional love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Skanda Purana, there is in the Skanda Purana, there is a similar statement. Person whose bodies are marked with tilaka, symbolizing the conch shell, wheel, club, and lotus, and who wield the leaves of tulsi on their heads, and whose bodies are always decorated with gopi chandana, even since ones can help the sphere be relieved from all sinful activities. Assimilate.
So this is also very nice, that how a Vaishnava is seen, is marked with his body, and all these things, and smeared with Gopi Chandan. Yeah. Then first canto.
Prabhuji, just one question, Prabhuji, if I may. Here we are saying that the service of devotees is bigger, and if you serve the devotees, it is like serving the Lord. So generally in South we hear this phrase saying Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. So is it true that Manava Seva is actually Madhava Seva, or are we saying that Madhava Seva is the most ultimate seva that we have to perform?
So if we are seeing the Manava disconnected from Madhav, then that seva is useless.
Okay.
So
Prince of Krishna and every soul, you say. Okay.
yeah. So if you are seeing with that mood, that you are serving somebody with this attitude that he is also part and parcel of Krishna, and let me help him to come closer to Krishna. So it is actually appear to be Manav Seva, but actually it is not Manav Seva.
Madhava Seva.
It is bringing that soul closer to Krishna.
Okay.
And here, more specifically, we are not talking about any ordinary Manava.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about those living entities who have surrendered their lives unto the lotus feet of Krishna, and who have in whose heart there resides nothing else other than Krishna. So they are deeply connected with Krishna.
Okay. Got it, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
A similar statement is found in the first canto, 19th chapter, verse 33 of Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no doubt about one's becoming freed from all reactions to sinful activities after visiting a devotee or touching the lotus feet or giving him a sitting place. Even by remembering the activities of such a Vaishnava, one becomes purified along with one's whole family. And what then can be said of rendering direct service to him?
So in this Adi Purana now, the statement is given. It's a very beautiful statement. It says in this way: "Ye me bhakta jana partha, name bhaktascha te janaha, mad bhaktanam cha ye bhaktas, te me bhakta tamamatah." That means, "Ye me bhakta jana partha." O Partha, O Krishna, O Arjuna, who says that I am your devotee. Name bhaktas te jana. They are not my devotees actually. Mad bhaktanam chaye bhaktas. But those who are devotees of my devotees, te me bhakta tamamataha. They are best of my devotees. Yes, please read.
In the Adi Purana, there is the following statement by Lord Krishna himself addressed to Arjuna. My dear Parth, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. Only a person who claims to be the devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. No one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must approach him through his pure devotees. Therefore, in the system of Vaishnava activities, the first duty is to accept a devotee as spiritual master and then to render service unto him.
So here we see this last line which Prabhupada just now said. Therefore, in the system of Vaishnava activity, the first duty, this is the first item of devotional service, 64 out of 64. So Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jidnyaso Shreya Uttamam, that we saw in the beginning. That first thing is to accept Guru, and second is you render service to him. You hear from him and then you serve him. So that way we become devotee of devotee, and that in that way we become dearer to Krishna, not by directly becoming devotee of Krishna. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whenever somebody would come to meet him, he would ask, "Who are you?" He would ask introduction through his secretary or servant. So then the person who has come to meet, if he says that I'm so and so, I'm devotee of whatever, Lord Narayan, Lord Vara. So then Saraswati Thakur would say that, tell him that I am busy. And if somebody would say that I am, servant of the servant, so then Saraswati Thakur would immediately give time to him. So that is how it is so important that we, while we are rendering devotional service, while we are worshipping the Lord in various ways, while we are engaged in hearing, while we are engaged in chanting about the glories of the Lord, we should also be very active in serving Vaishnavas. Is a very, very important item. Yeah, go ahead.
Sri Rupa Goswami affirms that all the quotations given in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu from different scriptures are accepted by the great acharyas and devotees of the Lord.
So these are whatever till now we have seen, they are all accepted by great acharyas. So then the next item is Yatha Vaibhav Mahotsava, 57th item. Please read.
Serving the Lord according to one's position. In the Padma Purana, there is a statement that one should perform the ceremonies of the Lord according to one's financial position. Everyone should observe the different ceremonies and celebrations of the Lord by all means.
So remember there was similar item some time back. Anybody remembers? It's serving the Lord based on one's own capacity. So there we discussed that if somebody is having good fortune, then he should serve, in a very pompous way. All the Lord is satisfied with patram pushpam phalam toyam. Even simple ordinary fruit, flower, water. But if somebody is having good fortune with him, having the capacity, then he should not just offer some water and tulsi leaf in that and say, "Oh my Lord, I'm offering, so please be happy." One should serve in a better way, as much as he can. So same item is here almost repeated. Then the next item, just a minute, please hold on. Yes. The next item is Urja Daro. Yeah, Urja Vrata. Yes, please read.
Performing devotional service in Kartika. One of the most important of these ceremonial functions is called Urja Vrata. Urja Vrata is observed in the month of Kartika, October, November. Especially in Vrindavana, there is a specific program for temple worship of the Lord in his Damodara form. Damodara refers to Krishna's being bound with rope by his mother Yashoda. It is said that just as the Lord Damodara is very dear to his devotees, so the month known as Damodara or Kartika is also very dear to them. The execution of devotional service during Urja Vrata in the month of Kartika is especially recommended to be performed at Mathura. This system is still followed by many devotees. They go to Mathura or Vrindavana and stay there during the month of Kartika, especially to perform devotional services during this period. In the Padma Purana, it is said, the Lord may offer liberation or material happiness to a devotee, but after some devotional service has been executed, particularly in Mathura, during the month of Kartika, the devotees want only to attain pure devotional service unto the Lord. The purport is that the Lord does not award devotional service to ordinary persons who are not serious about it, but even such unserious persons who execute devotional service according to the regulative principles during the month of Kartika and within the jurisdiction of Mathura in India are very easily awarded the Lord's personal service.
See, the power or potency of Mathura Mandal and then the Kartika month, and then on the top of it, the Urja Vrat or observing the Vrata in the month of Kartik or Damodar. So all these three things combined together, the result is that the devotees want only to attain pure devotional service unto the Lord. And Prabhupada is saying, Even such unserious persons who execute devotional service according to regular principles during the month of Kartika, even unserious persons are very easily awarded the Lord's personal service. Can you imagine the benefit that is given here, which is so rare? We saw that one of the characteristic of pure devotional service is Sudurlabha, is very rare, but it is so easily awarded. So Lord is so pleased with somebody who is performing this vrata in the jurisdiction of Mathura or Mathura Mandal in the month of Kartik. Yes, Mataji, you have questions, Sumita Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, in Odisha, during the month of Kartik month, many devotees they come to Puri and then they stay there. Like the government also makes some arrangement. So there would be like so many ashrams. We call it as like mattas and all. So especially like they would stay there for a month long and then they would do every day Jagannath darshan and then like their rituals, whatever is there, they perform that, and then the last 5 days of the Kartika, like before the Kartik Purnima, so that is called as like Panchuga. So there is a belief that the last 5 days also, if somebody observes with all these devotions, they got almost like similar kind of uh, uh, maybe the fruits of that.
Benefits.
But people do not do it like there are many people who do not do it in the like expecting fruits. But yeah, many people they 5 days they definitely go that Panchuka days. But is it like Puri Dham and then Vrindavan and Mathura? Will there be any difference, or it is like because I think in Odisha it is like they go Puri. That's like they don't think anything other than Puri.
Jagannath Chakkanayan. So class चाललाय माझं. आता कोणी नाही इथं. Yes. So we saw that also last time when you had asked similar question, that actually Lord Jagannath is nothing but Lord Krishna only. So Puri Dham is also non-different in that way from Vrindavan. So because Lord is present there, but their Lord is present in what you say, separation of devotees of Vrindavan. So it is more intense. And in Vrindavan, devotees are in separation of Lord. In Jagannath Puri, Lord is in separation of devotees, and in Vrindavan, devotees are in separation of the Lord. So both places are very powerful places of separation. So like that. So it doesn't matter. Sometimes some devotees stay in Mayapur, but we hear that song, that there is no difference between Mayapur and Vrindavan. So in one Vaishnava song they mention, there's no difference between Jeba Jane Chintamani. I forgot the full wordings. Nayapur and Navadip are also non-different. So all these places are very, very potent and powerful. Navadip, Mayapur, and Jagannath Puri and Mathura Mandal. Especially these three.
Okay,
From the
so it's
Gaudiya perspective.
okay. Yeah.
It's 8 o'clock.
Okay. And that last 5, or what you mentioned, yes, that is also observed in Vrindavan also. It is called Bhishma Panchak, the last 5 days. So they are considered, if somebody is not able to follow the whole month, then he at least does for that last 5 days. Yeah. Okay, the next Shri Janmadina Yatra. Please read.
Observing festivals celebrating the Lord's activities. In the Bhavishya Purana, there is a statement about observing different ceremonies, celebrating the Lord's appearance, birthday, and other transcendental activities. It is said, "My Lord Janardana, Krishna, please let us know the date when your mother Devaki Devi gave birth to you. If you kindly inform us about this, Then we shall observe a great celebration on this date. O killer of Kesi, we are souls 100% surrendered onto your lotus feet, and we wish only to please you with our ceremonies. This statement of the Bhavishya Purana gives evidence that by observing different functions in relationship with the Lord, one is sure to become pleasing to the Lord.
So, just we saw the benefit of observing the Kartika Vrat. So, similarly, observing Janmashtami is also very, very potent and powerful. So, it is one day only, but then it is also having its own potency, just like the entire month of Kartik is having. So, like this, the items of devotional service which Rupa Goswami has enunciated till now, they are completed. Now, what further 5 items are coming up? They are just the repetition of one of the item which was already discussed. So the reason Rupa Goswami is reiterating them is because they are very, very powerful and potent in them in itself, which can very easily and quickly evoke or awaken the bhava within the heart of the conditioned soul. One who is sincerely practicing Uttama Bhakti, if he performs these last 5 items which are mentioned, which we'll now read, then the bhava is very quickly awakened. So then these 5 items are serving the deity with great devotion, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from advanced devotees, associating with advanced devotees of similar heart, chanting the holy name, and living in Mathura. So these are the 5 items. So the remaining of the chapter 12 is giving explanation of these items with quotations again. And then the chapter number 13 is again discussing these 5 items once again to give us the to stress the importance on the potency of these items. So okay, so let's read now item 60. Sri
Serving,
Murter Angri Sevane Pritihi. So it's very important.
serving the
Shri
deity.
Shri Murter Angri Sevane Priti means serving the deity with great devotion. So just it's not just serving the deity. Previously we had, what was the item which we had previously read about serving the deity? Anybody remembers? It was Archanam. It was termed as Archanam, worshipping the deity. But here there is an additional adjective with great devotion. Yes, please read.
Serving the deity with great devotion. It is said in the Adi Purana, a person who is constantly engaged in chanting the holy name and who feels the transcendental pleasure being engaged in devotional service is certainly awarded the facilities of the devotional service and is never given just mukti liberation.
So here see, is constantly engaged in chanting and who feels transcendental pleasure being engaged in devotional service, So he is never given mukti. Yeah, please go ahead.
Mukti means liberation from the material contamination. Who liberated, one does not have to take birth again in the material world. The impersonalists desire to merge into the spiritual existence to the end of their individual existence. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Mukti is only the beginning of the one becoming situated in the normal condition. The normal condition of every living entity is to be engaged in the devotional service of Lord. From the statement of the Adi Purana, it appears that the devotee is satisfied simply with being engaged in devotional service. He does not aspire for any liberation from material condition life. In other words, anyone who is engaged in devotional service is not in the material condition of life, although he may appear so. Hare Krishna.
Muktir hitva anyatha rupam sarupena vyavasthiti. So what is the definition of mukti? It is nothing but sarupena vyavasthiti, situated oneself in one's own swarupa. And what is the swarupa of a jiva? Jivera Swarupa Hoy Nitya Krishna Das. Identifying oneself as eternal servant of Krishna is one's constitutional position. And when one understands this as one's constitutional position, that is actually mukti. There is nothing other than that. So this is about serving the deity with great devotion. Then next is Bhagavad Artha Swado.
Recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam among devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam is the desired tree of Vedic wisdom. Veda itself means the aggregate of knowledge, and whatever knowledge is required for human society is perfectly presented in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are different branches of knowledge in the Vedic writings, including sociology, politics, medicine, and military art. All these and other branches of knowledge are perfectly described in the Vedas. So, as far as spiritual knowledge is concerned, that is also perfectly described there. And Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the ripened fruit of this desire fulfilling tree of the Vedas. A tree is honored by the production of its fruit. For example, a mango tree is considered very valuable because it produces the king of all fruits, the mango. When the mango fruit becomes ripened, it is the greatest gift of that tree. And Srimad Bhagavatam is similarly held to be the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree. And as ripened fruit becomes more relishable when first touched by the beak of a parrot or sukha, Srimad Bhagavatam has become more relishable by being delivered through the transcendental mouth of Sukadeva Goswami.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. So here, which was the item which previously described about similarly reading Bhagavatam?
Amala Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam.
No, I am saying which was the item that we discussed.
54, Prabhuji.
What was it termed as?
Hearing the revealed scriptures.
Correct. So, and then now here specifically amongst all revealed scriptures, Rupa Goswami is presenting us Bhagavatam. In that item also, he had given one quotation from Bhagavatam which mentioned that Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedas, Vedanta Saram. And similarly, now here, the same thing is explained with the verse of, first canto, first chapter, verse number 3. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. Prabhupada has very nicely translated, or not exactly just translation, but rendering of this verse in a very beautiful words. So he's saying Nigama kalpataror. Nigama are the Vedic scriptures. Vedic scripture is compared to kalpataru, the desire fulfilling tree. And of this desire fulfilling tree, galitam phalam, the ripened fruit. Just like Prabhupada explained about the mango. So ripened fruit is Srimad Bhagavatam. And if that Srimad Bhagavatam is, or ripened fruit is touched by the beak of Shuka, that is parrot, it becomes more tasty. So similarly, Shuka Mukhad Amruta Drava Sanyutam. This Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam, the ripened fruit of Vedic scripture, is being touched by the lotus lips of Shukadeva Goswami. And that's why it has become more nectarian. And then what happens? Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. One who drinks the nectar of Bhagavatam, Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. And then those who are even liberated, they also relish the taste of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, please go ahead.
Srimad Bhagavatam should be received in disciple succession without any breakage. When a ripened fruit comes from the upper part of the tree onto the ground, by the process of being handed down from a higher branch to a lower branch by persons in the tree, the fruit does not break. Srimad Bhagavatam, when received in the Parampara system or disciplic succession, will likewise remain unbroken. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that the disciplic succession or parampara is the way of receiving transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge must come down through the disciplic succession, through authorized persons who know the real purpose of the Shastra.
Yes. Go ahead.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that one learns Srimad Bhagavatam from the mouth of the self-realized person called Bhagavatam. Bhagavata means in relationship with the personality of Godhead Bhagavan. So the devotee is sometimes called Bhagavatam, and the book which is in relationship with the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also called Bhagavatam. Sri
Yes, just
Chaitanya
a minute.
Mahaprabhu.
Sorry to interrupt you. So, the previous paragraph also mentioned about that how this fruit is offered with great care in disciplic succession. So, especially the mangoes, if you see how they are plucked from the tree, so there is a net kind of thing which is attached to a long stick, and there's a very good small knife at the end, and you cut the that part where the fruit is attached, the stem, and then the fruit is collected in that basket. So if it is collected in this way, then the mango ripens nicely after it is kept in the this thing. But if it is not done in this way, then it gets spoiled. Mm. So very careful it has to be brought down. And just imagine if there is a ripened mango on the tree only. This was about raw mango I talked. If a ripened mango is there on the tree, then one needs to be more careful. Because ripened mango is very soft. So that is how this is there. So this knowledge of Bhagavatam is handed down very carefully in the parampara system from one spiritual master to another. And that's how it has come to us in such a sweet form. And in the next paragraph, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is recommending that one should learn Bhagavatam from Bhagavat. So the word Bhagavat has got two meanings, the book Bhagavat and the person Bhagavat. So the book Bhagavat is in the form of a book which is there in front of us. And person Bhagavat is the person who has imbibed the book Bhagavat in his life. So if we are able to associate with such a person, we are very fortunate. And if we are able to read with him or hear from him Bhagavat, then it is extremely wonderful. Actually, this is what is mentioned over here in this item, recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam among devotees or hearing Bhagavatam from advanced devotees. So the meaning behind this is that only, if you are able to hear it from advanced devotees, then you relish the taste of Bhagavatam more than other way around. That does not mean there is no taste if you do on your own. Certainly, even if somebody just reads the translations of Bhagavatam, they are also very nectarian. But when the purport of Prabhupada is added, then it becomes more relatable to our own life. And when we hear that from somebody who is advanced soul, who has practiced himself, who has applied it in his life, that becomes much more powerful and enters into our heart very easily. So that is why it is mentioned here in this way. Yes, Prabhuji, please continue.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that in order to relish the real taste of Srimad Bhagavatam, one should take instruction from the person Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is relishable even by a liberated person. Sukadeva Goswami admitted that although he was liberated from within the very womb of his mother, it was only after relishing Srimad Bhagavatam that he became a great devotee. Thus, one who is desirous of advancing in Krishna consciousness should relish the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam through the discussions of authorized devotees. In Srimad Bhagavatam, second
So
canto,
now the next quotation is given for same Srimad Bhagavatam, which is from the second canto. Yes, please read.
Sukadeva Goswami admits that although he was very much attracted by the impersonal Brahman, when he heard the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the mouth of his father Vyasadeva, he became more attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam. The idea is that Vyasadeva was also a self-realized soul, and his mature contribution of transcendental knowledge was delivered directly to Sukadeva Goswami in the manner indicated.
So you see, this is about recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam amongst devotees or hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from advanced devotees. Yes. So then next is Sa Jati Ashaya Snigdha Shri Bhagavata Bhakta Sango. That one should associate with devotees. But which type of devotees? Sajatiya. Sajatiya means who are of similar, similar not birth, but similar understanding.
Associating with advanced devotees.
Sorry?
May I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, just a minute. I'm just giving the introduction to it. That
Okay.
when we talk about advanced devotees, so which type of devotees, that is also mentioned by Rupa Goswami. That is Sajatiya, means who are of similar nature, and Snigdha, with whom we have very good relationship. So that is mentioned here. And for that, then from first canto, the quotation is given. Yes, please read.
The importance of discussing Srimad Bhagavatam in the society of pure devotees was explained by Saunaka Muni during the meeting at Naimisaranya in the presence of Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami confirmed that if someone is fortunate enough to associate with a pure devotee of the Lord, even for a moment, that particular moment is so valuable that even those pious activities which can promote one to the heavenly planets or give liberation from material miseries cannot compare to it. In other words, those who are attached to Srimad Bhagavatam do not care for any kind of benefit derived from elevation to the higher planetary kingdoms, or for the liberation which is conceived of by the impersonalists. As such, the association of pure devotees is so transcendently valuable that no kind of material happiness can compare to it.
Yeah, so in this connection, there is very nice story. Once Narad Muni asked Lord Narayan, what is this so valuable about association with the devotees? So then Narad Muni Lord Narayan says, go and ask, go to the earth in a particular place, he says, go there. In that pond, just there is a newborn baby fish, and you go and ask him this question: what is the importance of associating with, you know, devotees? So then Narad Muni goes there, and Narad Muni asks this fish, what is the importance? So the fish, he just looks at Narad Muni, and before giving any kind of answer, he just dies. And he dies. And then Narad Muni worries, wonders, what happened, Baba? I just followed the instruction of Lord and this fish has died. So then he goes back to Lord and says, my Lord, this is what has happened. So then Lord says, okay, okay, don't worry. Now you go just near to that pond, there is a Goshala and there is a newly born calf, you know. You ask him this question. So Narad Muni is worried. My God, just now I asked the fish and he died. I hope the cow doesn't dies, because then Go Hatya will come to me. But then he is having faith on the Lord, so he goes and asks the calf, what is the value of associating with devotee? And same thing happens. What was not expected. The calf dies. So then Narad Muni is really worried. He again goes back to the Lord and says, my dear Lord, the calf has also died. What is happening? You're telling me to ask this question and everyone is dying. So please, you only answer. So, no, no, no. Now you do one thing. just near that Goshala, there is a house of a Brahmana, and they have just begotten a son. So you ask him the question. He says, my lord, please, already I am feeling that I have done Go Hatya. Now you don't make me, Brahma Hatya. Make me happen to do Brahma Hatya. So he says, no, no, you go and ask. So then he goes there, and then he asks the Brahmana child, that what is the benefit of valuing, associating with, what is the value of associating with a devotee? So then the Brahmana boy, who is just born, he starts speaking. He said, my dear Narad Muni, this is the benefit. I was a fish, and just I associated with you, I got a birth of a cow. And again, when I associated with, I got the birth of a human being. And now I am going back to Vaikuntha by your association. Hari Bol. And then he ascends to Vaikuntha. So this is a value of associating with a pure devotee even for a moment. So this verse which is quoted by Rupa Goswami says like this: Tulayama lave napi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kim usha utashishaha. The value of moments associated with devotee cannot be even compared with swarga, or moksha. Bhagavat Sangi Sang. Then what to speak of worldly benedictions? The association of pure devotee is so valuable that it cannot be compared with any such things. So like that it is. Yes, and then the next quotation from Hari Bhakti Sudodaya. Please read.
In the Haribhakti Subhodaya, there is a conversation between Prahlad Maharaja and his father Hiranyakasipu, in which Hiranyakasipu addresses Prahlada in this way: my dear son, association is very important. It acts just like a crystal stone, which will reflect anything which is put before it. Similarly, if we associate with the flower-like devotees of the Lord, and if our hearts are crystal clear, then certainly the same action will be there. Another example given in this connection is that if a man is potent and if a woman is not deceased, then by their conjugation, there will be conception. In the same way, if the recipient of spiritual knowledge and the deliverer of the spiritual knowledge are sincere and bona fide, there will be good results.
So just imagine Hiranyakashipu is teaching Prahlad the importance of association. He's saying it's like a crystal stone. Obviously, he is meaning in a different way when he is teaching this. He doesn't want Prahlad to associate with Vaishnavas. But the point is, the association has its own, way. So you might have also heard this story of two parrots born in same nest. One of the parrot, he goes and stays in the ashram of a sadhu, and another parrot goes and stay in the dacoit's place. So each of them learns the way where they are staying. So the parrot who is in the dacoit's house, he starts speaking the language of dacoits. I will kill you, I will earn this much, and I will do like this, I will do like that. Whereas the parrot who was staying in the ashram of the sadhu, so he was talking the language of sadhu. Hmm. So that is how it is. So Prabhupada, in one of the lecture which I was hearing, Prabhupada was mentioning that in general the conditioned soul perform, or a sinful man is accustomed to perform sins because of his association with three modes. Hmm. So that's why he continues performing sinful activities. But as soon as he gives up that association and takes up the association of devotees who are beyond the three modes naturally, then he also gives up the sinful actions, and he also situates himself on a pure transcendental platform. So that is how the association acts, in both ways. If you do it in a this way, then you degrade yourself. But if you associate with the devotees, then you elevate yourself. So this is about association with devotees. Then the next item is Sri Nama Sankirtan. Yes, please read.
The importance of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. is very strongly stressed in the second canto, first chapter, verse 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam in the following way. Sukadeva Goswami tells Maharaja Parikshit, "My dear king, if one is spontaneously attached to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is to be understood that he has attained the highest perfectional stage. It is specifically mentioned that the karmis who are aspiring after the fruitive results of their activities, the salvationists who are aspiring to become one with the Supreme Person, and the yogis who are aspiring after mystic perfections can achieve the results of all perfectional stages simply by chanting the Mahamantra." Sukadeva uses the word nirnitam, which means it has already been decided. He was a liberated soul and therefore could not accept anything which was not conclusive. So Sukadeva Goswami especially stresses that it has already been concluded that one who has come to the stage of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra with determination and steadiness must be considered to have already passed the trials of fruitive activities, mental speculation, and mystic yoga.
Yeah, so this is a
Continue.
just a minute. So this is a very nice verse from second canto. So if you see every canto, at the beginning of the every canto, there is one verse which is given in from that canto, a striking verse. So for second canto, this is the verse given in the book, Srila Prabhupada's book of Bhagavatam. Etan nirvidyamananam ichchatam akuto bhayam yoginam nrupanirnitam harer namanukirtanam. So, great authorities have concluded that those who are free from all material desires, akuto bhayam, or those who are desirous of material enjoyment, those who have kind of ichchatam, and those who are self-satisfied, nirvidyamananam. So all these kind of people, for any one of them, any category you take, the conclusion is that they should take up to the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then, for giving further explanation, Rupa Goswami gives few more quotations. Yes, somebody else can read.
The same thing is confirmed in the Adi Purana by Krishna. While addressing Arjuna, he says, "Anyone who is engaged in chanting my transcendental name must be considered to be always associating with me. And I might tell you frankly that for such a devotee, I become easily purchased." In the Padma Purana
Just
also it is
see the
stated.
result of chanting. That Lord is getting purchased. So again, the characteristics of devotional service which we saw, the six characteristics. In that, one of the characteristic was Sudulabha. Why? Because Lord becomes, sold out to the devotee. So then it is not so easy. That's why Lord doesn't give it so easily. But if somebody is chanting the holy name, then such person attains that position. Yes, please go ahead.
In the Padma Purana, it is stated, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is present only on the lips of a person who has for many births worshipped Vasudeva. It is further said in the Padma Purana, there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself. As such, the holy
Just a
name.
minute. Just a minute. So the previous quotation, the Padma Puran, chanting of Hare Krishna is present only on the lips of a person who has for many births worshipped Vasudeva. So once some disciples of Prabhupada, they went to Prabhupada and they said, Ki, Prabhupada, what is our qualification that we got such a great gift? So then Prabhupada humbly said to them, you have got no qualification. I made your qualification. So, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, that line only, although it may be said here that, in one who, only on the lips of person who has many births worshipped Vasudeva, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is present. So, that is, we can say, for those who cannot stop chanting. So, it should not be misunderstood with our chanting, where we are struggling even to chant our 16 rounds. Our lips are quivering to chant 16 rounds. Uh, but for that devotee, on his lips, there is constant chanting of the holy name. Yeah. And then the next quotation is again from Padma Puran. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvam Nama Namino. So Nama Chintamani. The holy name is like Chintamani. And it can fulfill all the desires. And it is Rasa Vigraha, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It is a form of Krishna Chaitanya, liveliness and full of all mellows. Purna Shuddho, it is fully purified. Nitya Mukto, fully liberated. And it is non-different from Krishna himself. Yes, please read. There is no difference between.
There is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself. As such, the holy name is as perfect as the Lord himself in fullness, purity and eternity. The holy name is not a material sound vibration, nor has it any material contamination. The holy name cannot therefore be chanted offenselessly by one who has failed to purify his senses. In other words, materialistic senses cannot properly chant the holy names of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But by adopting this chanting process, one is given a chance to actually purify himself so that he may very soon chant offenselessly.
So there are three stages in chanting the holy name. One is Nama Aparadha, second is Nama Bhasa, and third is Shuddha Nam. So in the beginning we chant with the offenses. Then eventually, gradually the offenses are cleared. But still it is not with purity. So that is Nama Bhas. And then the third, that is a clearing stage. It is almost gone, but not fully gone. And then the third stage, wherein completely offenses are gone. So offenseless chanting, that is Shuddhanam. So that is the third stage. So Prabhupada is mentioning here that unless and until we have failed to purify our senses, we cannot chant offenselessly. So one may wonder, what is the connection? So because we identify so much with our body in the conditioned state, if the body is impure, that means if senses are impure or impurely engaged, then it immediately affects the consciousness. And that's why we cannot chant the holy name properly. But when we purify our activities and our senses are engaged only in the service of the Lord, then gradually what happens is our consciousness is also focused, and then we can chant offenselessly. So that is a connection. And then the third quotation comes, Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grayam indriyai sevon mukhe hi jivhado swayam eva spuratyadaha. This is also from Padma Puran. He says that we cannot capture holy name by our senses. Means we are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, but we cannot capture the holy name by our senses. Na bhavet grahyam indriyai. Then what will happen? When we serve, Sevan Mukhe Jivvado, beginning with the tongue, when we serve, then the Lord's holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes, all these things will be revealed over a period of time. So that is the fruit of chanting offenselessly. That Lord's holy name, form, holy name is the beginning, then form, qualities, and pastimes will be revealed. Yes, please read.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended that everyone chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra just to cleanse the dust from the heart. If the dust of the heart is cleansed away, then one can actually understand the importance of the holy name. For persons who are not inclined to clean the dust from their hearts and who want to keep things as they are, it is not possible to derive the transcendental results of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One should therefore be encouraged to develop his service attitude towards the Lord, because this will help him to chant without any offenses. And so, under the guidance of a spiritual master, the discipline is trained to render service and at the same time chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As soon as one develops his spontaneous service attitude, he can immediately understand the transcendental nature of the holy name of the Mahamantra.
So this was the statement. As soon as one develops a spontaneous service attitude, Sevan Mukhe Jivvado, then he can immediately understand the transcendental nature of holy names. Means what? Then the holy name will reveal the form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. So we'll complete the last item, or we can conclude. Is it okay if we can go for 5 minutes
Prabhuji.
more? Yeah. So then, Atha Shri Mathura Mandale Sthiti. Please read.
Living in Mathura. In the Padma Puran, there is a statement about the importance of living at holy places like Mathura or Dwarka. It is stated there to travel to different places of pilgrimage means to attain emancipation from material bondage. This emancipation, however, is not the highest perfectional stage. After attaining this liberated stage, one has to become engaged in devotional service to the Lord. After attainment of the Brahma Bhuta stage, one can further advance to engagement in devotional service. So this attainment of transcendental loving devotional service to the Lord is the goal of life, and it can be achieved very easily for the one who lives in Mathura Mandal even for few seconds. It is further
Yeah.
said, who is that person who will not agree to worship the land of Mathura? Mathura can deliver all the desires and ambitions of the fruitive workers and of the salvationist who desires to become one with the Supreme Brahman. Certainly, Mathura will deliver the desires of the devotees who simply aspire to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. In the Vedic literature, it is also stated how wonderful it is that simply by residing in Mathura, even for one day, one can achieve a transcendental loving attitude toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This land of Mathura must be more glorious than Vaikuntha Dham, the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, we have also previously seen the benefit of staying near Mathura, just few items before, and then again it is reinstated over here. So, this is how the last 5 items are considered to be most potent. And now, in the next chapter, which we will see in our next session, Rupa Goswami gives the importance of all these items, why they are so important. So that will come up. So then for now, we will conclude over here. So anyone has any question? So regarding the next session, we decided not to have in next week and the next to next week, right?
Next week, we're definitely not on Thursday, Prabhuji, given that it is Rath Yatra day. But we can still do Monday, Tuesday if all are fine, Prabhuji.
Now there is some problem from my end.
Okay.
I am going on Dindi walking festival
Oh, okay,
from
Prabhuji.
from Monday, and most probably I'll return on 22nd or 23rd. So 23rd is Thursday anyways.
Yes.
So then can we have on 23rd and 24th?
Prabhuji, 24th is again the last day for Rath Yatra.
Acha. But then 23rd are we having or not then?
23rd also will be a challenge, Prabhuji, because a lot of our devotees are attending various Rath Yatras, Prabhuji, in the evenings. And
Okay,
given that
then
these are the last 2 days, we can have
okay, then
the 27th, we can have
when can
the classes.
20?
Week commencing 27th.
Yeah, that is 28th and 30th.
27th also we can do, Prabhuji. I can find out if the bridge is available. If the Zoom bridge is available, then we can have on 27th also.
Okay, some extra classes you mean?
Yeah, 27th, 28th, and 30th.
Okay, fine. That will be good. So the next 2 weeks you can all revise, and those who are engaged in Rath Yatra can participate in that. And those who are not, you can revise the things. I hope you have started solving the questions, close book question. If not, then please do start. Don't wait till end. Otherwise, everything will be piled up, and it will be very difficult for you to do it.
Prabhuji, we would also need one small help, Prabhuji, for the 4 shlokas that we are supposed to recite as part of the shloka recitation. If you could just help us with the meter for those songs, Prabhuji, in terms of the tune or the tune for to recite those shlokas.
Okay.
Either just send a WhatsApp message with the recitation, that is also helpful, or you can just do it on the session and we'll anyway record these sessions. It will be helpful for all of us, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I'll send recording and we will once also do the recitation.
Okay, sure, Prabhuji, that will be helpful.
Okay. So thank you all very much. I am very much thankful, especially despite all your difficult engagements of your family life and rendering various services. You are taking up this course, which is a little difficult. At that too, it's 2 times in a week, little bit fast-paced course. So really, very much appreciative of that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु की जय, रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam.